course, Duluth experience are really interesting, the relationships and the collaboration, between different companies. And so, how was the beer sort of envisioned as a beer, and then how did the relationship between Bent Paddle and Duluth Coffee Company sort of come together?
The beer itself was envisioned through some coffee experiments that both Colin and I had done in the past at the different breweries we worked at. As brewers, we enjoy infusing different things into our beers. Colin had done some coffee style beers, I think porters and all that stuff, in which he had infused coffee directly into the beer, and which was good, but it always had this kind of this roughness, kind of gruffness from the coffee that came out. And I had done some of the same stuff at Rock Bottom, and quite a few years back, our assistant brewer was working at Rock Bottom with me. We had decided to try something new. We had a beer that was out, which is called Solstice Black, which is very similar beer to our black, only different ingredients, a little bit drier and all that stuff. And decided to do some coffee experimenting on it. One of the things we did was a cask with some coffee infused into it. We'd also gotten some Instant Black from the Dunn Brothers that was located upstairs, and infused that directly in with the coffee, just to kind of see with the beer, just to see what the difference is.
At this time, it wasn't a cold press brewed. It wasn't a cold.
No, not at all. It was just we were just kind of experimenting, trying to we had taken direct coffee into the cask, and decided to try some actual brewed cold press coffee, and infuse that with the beer and kind of see what some of the differences were. And we were absolutely amazed at the aroma and smoothness that you got off of adding the cold press coffee directly to the beer, especially after carbonation and all that stuff. So as the last process of making the beer, you would fuse the cold press directly into it. And so we had done that, and my tenure at Rock Bottom ended, and moved on from there. And when we were opening up here, we started brewing the black, and I started thinking about different things that we could do right at the beginning to not only increase the amount of beers we had on tap, because we were brand new in the production brewery, we didn't have a lot of different ones, but also just kind of playing around with some of the coffee flavors. And I remember doing that at Rock Bottom. So we had gotten to know Eric from Duluth Coffee Company quite well through first of all drinking his coffee, which we thought was absolutely outstanding. But also just him being a new business in the area, us being a new business, we had kind of connected through the trials and tribulations of opening new businesses. And,
at the same time that you were both opening.
Yeah, totally. And so we had a lot of the same experiences, so we were both really excited about what we were doing. And decided to pick up a couple growlers of his crazy juice, and of course, we tried it first. We tried it. Something that really took me back was the depth of flavor and the smoothness of his cold press. Coffee was far beyond anything else I had ever experienced. It's they take a lot of care in producing their cold press, and they think about flavors a lot the same way we do. And it's all about balance and balancing the acidity to the roast. And all this. Eric and I have talked a lot.
Yeah, one of the things Eric told me yesterday is that he's essentially a brewer trapped in a roaster's body.
Basically,
you're thinking about things similar, I think, was his point.
Yeah, we both like crafting things that have a good sensory experience, and it takes a lot of good coffee to make beer, and I think he'd say it takes a lot of good beer to make coffee. So
there you go.
It kind of goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And so we decided to infuse a couple kegs with some cold press, and did a couple experiments on dosing levels and all that stuff. And that first keg that we did, we tried it. It was just outstanding. And then we started thinking about the possibility of collaborating with Eric to try to get this beer out there. And that's when discussions began about, all right, how do we do this on a larger scale? And we decided to keep it very specialized and on a small batch basis for quite a while, so we could dial things in and try to figure out the best way of doing large volumes of it. And it was about a year-long process to figure out how to actually do the amount of volumes that we need to do, and I'm super excited for it to come out.
Yeah, so up until now, it's been something that was you could only get in the Bent Tap.
Basically, it's the Bent Tap, and there were a couple other specialty accounts that would have it for various events and whatever else, and other accounts that had special relationships with either Eric, Duluth Coffee or us would get it for special events. So, you know, a lot of it was just we couldn't produce enough. You know, Eric couldn't roast enough coffee at the beginning for it. You know, they now think that it can roast a lot more. And they're also getting a new roaster.
Yeah, they're expanding.
They're expanding a lot.
That's great.
So they're doing that, and then, you know, we also wanted to keep it a pretty specialized thing. You know, we had plans to release all these other beers and all these other brands, and we wanted to make sure that we were ready for it when we got to the point of being able to release it in cans, because it's a huge commitment releasing a new beer in cans, right? You know, there's the investment in the not only the design side, which we worked with Eric on, trying to make sure that we could incorporate his logo and make it a true collaboration, but you know, also just purchasing of the cans and, you know, trying to figure out the infrastructure to make that amount of cold press. And it's you know, it's a good amount of coffee.
That's a lot of coffee.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's about 31 or 32 gallons of double strength cold press coffee that goes into one batch. Wow. And you know, it's wanted to make sure that we had everything dialed in and figured out prior to diving in and doing it.
So now this is going to be a flagship Bent Paddle beer.
You know, it's a specialty release.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
You know, this beer will never
going to go well, but yeah,
I think it's going to go well. I have a feeling it's probably going to go pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, we'll see how it does long term, right? In the can and everything. And it's definitely a beer that will never go away, I think. But I'm not willing to commit to it being a flagship beer.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
see how it goes.
See how it goes
well.
Yeah, exactly. You know.